Hey guys, welcome to this tutorial where I'm going to show you the basics of how to use Nifty 250 online at nifty250.co.za. It's a simple tutorial and I'm going to focus on getting pictures printed from Instagram. If you come to our main site, you'll see a big Get Started button. That's your basic first step. If you scroll down, there's two other distinctions, prints and products. So if you want to actually go get prints or get products separately, that's where you can go, but the two buttons do work in conjunction. If you scroll a little bit further down, you'll have a voucher section. This is where you can actually create vouchers. You can customize them with your name, sender's name, a special message, confirm the actual email address. You can even send it later if you want to in a future date. You can choose the rand value. You can even preview the voucher and then add an image, but there's a separate tutorial on this, so just give that a little look. You'll scroll down and you'll see our actual Instagram account as well. So I'm going to get started by clicking this button. What happens next is we're basically going to ask you, like the two buttons below that differentiate the two options, do you want to get prints or do you want to get products? Products are like frames, photo blocks, pin boards, anything that's not a print. Prints are prints. So I'm going to click prints. Please forgive my internet connection, it's a little bit slow. Alright, so we're on the print format page right now, and this is basically where we are going to be showing you all the print formats we currently do. We've got Polaroids, Instamatics, squares, sticker prints, which is basically all our simple prints in an adhesive format. We've got strips, and then we have A3 plus posters. You'll see the rand amount for each one, and the minimums are within the more information section. But basically for Polaroids, Instamatics, squares, we have a minimum print amount of 30 prints each to fulfill an order. You can have as many prints as you want and combinations of in your cart to check out, but you have to actually have the minimums. And for instance, Polaroids, you have to have a minimum of 30 Polaroids to add that to your cart. You can't mix that 30 up from different sources and different formats. So you have to independently add one format at a time, but you can have as many as you want. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to focus on Polaroids. You'll see there's two buttons. If you hit the more information button, basically that's going to take you to our further detailed information page where there's a little bit more information here. You can see some other pictures about Polaroids themselves. You'll note they actually are like old school Polaroids. They measure 90 by 105 millimeters. They use a really premium luster Epson paper that's 250 grams. It's got that old school luster finish, and its actual printed area is 82 by 82. It's a square format. So please note that obviously portrait and landscape images will be cropped coming from Instagram automatically. So what you see on our site is what you get. There's a little video just showing the actual print formats themselves, and some cool pics from customers that have shared with us online. So if you click the Start Printing button here, you'll see we present you with basically saying, do you want to get your pictures from Instagram or do you want to upload them? That's going to be exactly the same if you go back to our print page. And over here, if you decide that you want Polaroids and you just hit the Start Printing button, the same thing will happen. So for the sake of this one, we're going to focus on Instagram alone. What's going to happen now is we are going to ask you to connect to your Instagram account or an Instagram account that you have a password for. That basically means that you're authorizing us to connect to your Instagram and show you the pictures on that Instagram account so that you can select them and we can print them and send them to you. So what's going to happen next is our site is going to connect with Instagram. So you'll see right now we've gone to Instagram. This is my own account. I'm going to log in. So this could be your account or anybody else's account. And you'll see the first thing that happens is there's a little pop-up that says what you see is what we print. Please clearly review each of your print selections and note that what you see on our site is exactly how it will be printed for you. Double check. So we're basically just saying to you, look, what you see in these squares is exactly the way it's going to be printed. If your image is landscape or portrait and you're missing some of the image here, please don't assume that we're going to print that. We won't. When it comes to Instagram, there's unfortunately an automatic crop that occurs. We can't deal with that. The only way to get around that is actually to get your Instagram images downloaded and then to upload them to our website, where we can then provide you with a cropping feature that'll allow you to actually crop the image to your desired effect. But for the sake of Instagram, what we're saying here is please note that it's a square format that you've chosen. Polaroids are square, so these images are exactly how they're going to be printed. You can get out of this by clicking either the Got It button, that, or outside. So you'll see there, what you see is what we print. Basically, we're displaying your Instagram feed from latest to oldest. If you scroll down, you'll see our site continuously loads more and more images. If you hover over the images, you'll see the little red block. That's basically just showing you where your mouse is. And you'll see we give you the option to select multiples. You can actually click on the image and you can zoom it in. You'll see how that image is actually presented to you in an Instagram Polaroid layout. Just please note the actual borders will be a little bit thicker than this. They are 4mm. You can actually click through your images to see your previews. And you'll see I've selected 8 there. It's actually showing that red block is staying there to indicate that I actually have selected 8. You'll see that my subtotal is 40 Rand and my print price is 5 Rand still. And you'll see what's happening here. It's saying 8 out of 30. Now what that means is we need you to select a minimum of 30 before you can actually review. So you'll see if I click this button here, it's saying minimum prints required. You need to select a minimum of 30 Polaroids in order to add this to your cart. So we need you, with all our formats, to select a minimum in order to add them to your cart, because that's just the way we work in order to make it viable to actually print out your images and send them. If you do want a lot of images and you don't want to click through, you can actually type on this and actually put in an amount and hover over, and you'll see automatically it selects a big amount. You can also just in order to deselect that, you can either type in 0, or you can even just hit the X button like I'm going to do over there. There we go. So you can click away and randomly, or actually select as many images as you like. We actually do have we have an autofill and a deselect option. So if you have a curated account and you're looking to quickly create multiple batches of images from an Instagram account or different Instagram accounts, you can simply click autofill. You'll see what that's automatically doing. It's just selecting a whole bunch of random images from whatever's been loaded over here. So I've got my 30 now. I'm going to deselect that though. So I think the biggest thing to note with Instagram is that you can select multiple images from multiple accounts. So if I go click 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 5, I'm going to click sign out now. What that's going to do is it's going to log you out of Instagram, and it's going to ask you to sign into a new Instagram account. So what's happening here is that we're going to go on to the Nifty 250 account. And basically what we've done here now is we have loaded the new Instagram account that you've just signed into right below the images that you've previously selected. So they're the images from my own account, and here is the new account. So I'm going to continue selecting images. And you can complete this process as many times as you like. So although you can't have multiple formats to create up the minimum amount, you can have multiple Instagram accounts. So I'm going to now complete my order. I've got 42 images selected. You'll see if you scroll down, it continuously loads. And now what happens is this little block is flashing. It's basically saying to me, look, you've got 42 images selected. You're ready to review if you want to check out. It's important to know that you can still go back to the print format section, and these images won't they won't be erased, but it's advised that you simply follow this process, get it added to your cart, and then go and repeat the process for any more formats you may need. So I'm going to now hit the review section, although I'm just going to go over one more time to show you these basics, plus and minus. You can actually deselect them by clicking on them as well. I'm now going to click review, and what's going to happen here is you're going to see all the images that you've selected. They're going to be basically previewed for you in the format. So you'll see that these are the images that you've selected. We're basically trying to say to you, look, are you happy with these images? You've chosen 30 of those and 1 of these. You still have the option to actually create more. You can even get rid of those images that you don't want. If you go below the threshold of 30, we're going to kick you back to the previous step to add more images. So this is your last chance to actually have a look at Polaroids to make sure that you're happy with your selections. If you are, you can simply hit the Add to Cart button. What that's going to do, it's going to add your selection to the cart. So 43 Polaroids have been added to your cart. Would you like to do anything else? You can either check out, or you can go to the Continue Printing tab, which basically is going to take you back to the format page to add a whole new format. So you can repeat the process with any other format, and you can even change the source. So if you'd like to have 30 squares, for instance, that are uploaded, you can do that too. For the sake of this tutorial, we're going to focus on Instagram. So I'm going to choose a different format. I'm going to stick to Instagram, and what it will do, it will stay and load the images from the previously signed in account. the whole website takes into account one Instagram account at a time. So just bear in mind that you won't be signed into multiple accounts in different formats. You're always going to be looking at the latest account that you've signed into. So if you hover over your cart, you'll see that you've got 43 Polaroids there for 215 Rand. You can even view your cart by clicking on that. To see that, you'll see we automatically add shipping because that's our only shipping option. You can either click back now, or you can go back to the print format page to see what you were previously doing. I'm going to go back to prints now, Squares, Instagram, and you can either stay on this Instagram account or you can load a new account. But for the sake of ease, I'm going to select a whole bunch of pictures by simply clicking on them, or clicking the plus button, or even just popping in a number. So you'll see I've got some images searched there. You can even, once again, go and autofill those. Review, there's all my images that I've selected for the square format. If I click on them, you'll see a beautiful little square. That's exactly how we're going to print it. And then I'm going to click Add to Cart. So you'll see in my cart now I should have two formats. You're not going to print anymore. The shop basically will take you to our shop if you're looking for products, but in this case we're going to check out. You'll see that we've got your format and your delivery option, 1 to 4 days. You can hit the checkout button and that's going to start the entire checkout process. For the sake of this tutorial, we're going to keep the checkout process really simple. So I may brisk through this, but this is just because we'll make another tutorial on checkout. So all we're doing here is we're basically forcing you to tell us if this is an order for someone else or if this is an order that's going straight to you. If it's an order that is for someone else but it's being delivered to you, that's perfectly fine. We suggest always selecting the gift option. Basically, if this gift is for anybody but yourself, please select gift yes. So I'm going to pretend it is. You'll see that we ask for under the billing section, your name, your last name, all the basic details. You can actually create an account with us which will pre-populate this information, so please check that out. You'll see we've got a section for the gift receiver's name. So this is basically the name we're going to write on your prints box. Every print has a box, or every print format has its own box, and we'll actually write a special message in there for the person it's entitled to. So you can go through all of this, and then you can choose your payment method, which is either EFT, check, or SnapScan. We do send emails to follow up with payments and delivery, and it's all the information. You can also find detailed information in our FAQ section, but basically here you're simply putting in who's paying for the order and where the order is going to. For the sake of simplicity, I'm going to select EFT. What that's going to do, oops, my bad, it's asking me to put in a whole bunch of information, so I'm just going to lie quickly and pre-populate some further information. Once again, let's try that one more time. Alright, so what it's done now, it says proceed with payment below. So I've selected EFT, so you can actually go and do a SnapScan payment over here. What will happen is the site will refresh and automatically detect that payment. But right now, you would have received an email in your designated email that you've popped in the previous page, and that'll have all these banking details. What you'll do then is send us through a proof of payment, and we'll confirm that, and then we'll get in contact to print your pictures. So thanks for watching. This is a simple video on how to get started with us. Basically, just go to the home page, hit the Get Started button, hit Prints, choose your format by clicking Get Started, sign into an Instagram account, and then select the pictures you want. The next tutorial I'm going to make is going to be focusing on the upload section, and that'll allow you to take pictures from your desktop or your laptop. Thanks very much, guys.